Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. Today, we are going to take a look at some realized finished sales. Okay, not just any sales, but in this case, is it an error or not an error? We're going to take a look for sure here on eBay. I love doing this every like 2 or 3 weeks. It just kind of puts into perspective some of the cool finds that you could find in your coin roll hunting activities. I like to do this kind of breeze through on eBay before the weekend hits, usually on a Thursday or Friday. So it is Friday. I haven't done one of these in quite a long while. So I figure, now it's high time to take a look at some coins that are either hits or misses. You will be surprised what kind of coins I've been selling for decent amounts of money, and you'll be also surprised at some coins that are just not genuine errors that people are paying through the nose for. You're gonna want to be careful what's out there. So, as you can see, we're on eBay's site. We are in the coin and paper money section on here, and of course you're going to go to US coins and then error money or US error coins. And you're going to do sold listings. So all the sold listings will have green finished pricing on there. Now the first coin that we see here, I actually just refreshed it so that way we have up-to-date stuff. But we have a First Strike full brockage coin here that sold for $455. Now this is a testament of the type of coins that you could find that you can make a lot of money on. And most importantly, because I know this is important for a lot of you, you do not need to get these graded. Okay, as long as it's discernible as a genuine US Mint error, you'll have no problem selling these. So this looks like it is a copper-coated zinc coin because you have this silver center right here. I'm not going to click into it. It speaks for itself. Brockage coins will have usually a mirrored profile of one side of the coin on the back side of it, and it's a really interesting, really neat error. They're not cheap. Brockage coins are not cheap at all, and sometimes they can be found in change or in rolls. Okay, I found a die cap about a week ago, and while it's not a brockage, it is a coin that is pretty hard to miss. So for it to survive as long as it did, that's pretty incredible. So right here we have a candy $half that is struck through grease that sold for $15 shipped. Again, this is a nice little find here. And strike throughs of this magnitude right here, where you have some of the design details and devices missing because of the strike through on the grease factor there. These things sell for decent money. Okay, $15 for a coin that probably was discovered coin roll hunting. Okay, a lot of folks love coin roll hunting through Kennedy $half so they could find silver and coins like that. Even the older stuff like Franklin halves and Walking Liberties. So $half. There's more than meets the eye than just silver, guys. So we got a tiny little lot here. You have an off-center struck coin. You have a clipped Roosevelt diamond, and you have a waffle canceled, which looks to be a quarter. So all in all, is $11, and that looks fine. And we have another similar lot. I would venture to guess that this is from the same seller. We have an off-center coin with maybe a partial date on there. We have a double clipped Jefferson nickel, and then we also have another nickel with a little bit of a lamination peel on there. This one's really cool. It's a 1999 D Delaware state quarter that is off-center by, it looks, about 60%. So this one sold for $89. This is a coin that usually you will not be able to find in change. Not even close. This one doesn't even have a full date on it. But it doesn't need it because it's a Delaware state quarter. Everybody knows that they made them in 1999. It does have a easy to read mint mark, which makes this a very identifiable coin by its date and mint mark. So yeah, and this is a traditional auction format. $89. Okay, that's impressive. I like that. So obviously these off-center type coins are going to be hard to find in change, okay, just because of how oblong and just out of shape they are. They're not going to be able to fit into a paper roll as easily. This quarter here, this 98, you might be able to, but it is a little bit kind of smushed out a little bit, you know, it's the metal's been stretched. So we have a couple, you know, more miscellaneous types of auctions here. You got 3 dimes, a couple of Lincoln cents that are off center. Here's an interesting one here. It's a 1959D with a Cud die break right here at the truncation of Jefferson's bust. These generally sell for pretty good money. This one only sold for $4.25. I think this was a steal. Usually with cuts, you know, they're right around 10 to 15 bucks. Even one of this size, which it's not too big, but you know, it is sizable enough that it should have sold for around 10 bucks. All right, so we have another cud. We're going to skip the RPMs, the varieties. The 1950D also has another cud right here. See, now this is more like it. This one sold for $21.51. Shipped, which is, you know, it's right there, and these are caused by a piece of the die actually falling off after a bunch of wear. So when it falls off, you'll have a void there, and it'll just leave kind of like a blob shape, and it only involves the edge. Okay, a cut is. If it involves more of the inner details, those are die chips, die breaks, that sort of thing. Now here's a really incredible lamination Buffalo nickel. It's a 1928D. For as big as and as radical as this one is, this is a cheap get at only $8.50. Okay, I feel like that one should have gone for a lot more money. 1921 Morgan dollar. Keep in mind, you know, this one has a tiny little rim clip. Tiny clips on these big dollars are nothing tremendous in the error community, and as a result, people won't pay like the big premiums on them unless they have like a really big clip on there. So there's a few coins I'll skip because they just don't make any sense. I mean, there's a 1998 Washington quarter with a reverse die error. The thing you want to keep in mind, if you're going to sell coins on eBay, and I'm going to actually do a little video clinic sometime here in the next day or two about how to image your coins. First of all, the images are a little bit blurry and they're a little bit dark. But if you're going to create a listing to sell your coins, okay, in the title you have to be as thorough as possible. Now, because this one only said 1998 P Washington quarter with reverse die error, it doesn't say a lot. It sounds kind of clickbaity. So in that case, I'd probably skip over it, only because the quality of the photos doesn't really lend a whole lot of professionalism in the listing. So you want to be sure that when you're creating your sales listing that you have good, clear, concise photos, and you want to be absolutely thorough in your title work. Here's a 1970D Lincoln penny with rotated die. Rotated die errors, okay, you have to be very careful that this one has a very mild rotated die. It looks like about 10-15 degrees rotation. The thing about imaging rotated dies is you want to have the front identifiable, and you need to use some sort of mirror, like a compact or something like that, to get an image of the back. Okay, that's the only way that most people will actually believe that it's a rotated die. Like this right here, you could easily say, oh yeah, it's rotated 175 degrees. Okay, and then you receive the coin and it's rotated 5 degrees. So again, you have to be careful and be sure that you're buying coins that have an actual legitimate return policy. That's important, especially if you're spending a lot of money. Alright, so we're going to try and stay away from the vintage stuff. The Shield Nickel, you know, has tons of die breaks all across them, the series. This is one I did come across, and I wanted to bring this to your attention. Okay, double strike coins are very popular in the error community. However, there are pretty underhanded attempts to replicate such a feat, generally people will sandwich 2 or 3 coins together and use some sort of vise or something like that to squeeze the details together. So this one here sold for, which it looks to be $68 shipped. Okay, I added the shipping in there. And what I wanted to do is bring up the image so you could see exactly what you should be on the lookout for. Alright, so this is the front of the coin, and it has an impression of the Lincoln Memorial on there. Okay, so the one big giveaway is that the Lincoln Memorial design is incuse. It's been pushed into the design of Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that's a big no-no. That is not supposed to happen that way. If it was a true double-struck coin, Lincoln Memorial would be raised. Okay, it would be raised off of the Lincoln's profile. All right, so this one right here is a no-brainer. This one is not real. A couple other things that you want to keep an eye out on. See the damage here on the edge, and then right over here above trust. Okay, those are telltale signs that coins have been pressed together, because those damage spots on there are incuse. All right, so, and then on the reverse, you also have a incuse impression of Abraham Lincoln into the memorial. That's no go. That's a no-brainer right there. This one right here is someone did buy it. Luckily, there's a 30-day returns policy, and this scares the crap out of me. Very low feedback score, 49, and this person is at 96.4%. So it sounds like he or she, Sylvia, that's a she, has probably 1 or 2 negative strikes against her on a previous sale. So this one right here is definitely a red flag anyways. It's always good to check out the feedback scores of people you're buying from, especially when it's a higher dollar item. Now this is pretty cool. It's a 1982 Lincoln cent. This one has a strike through. It looks like either struck through thread or perhaps wire. Let's go ahead and take a close look here. I looked at this one, and yeah, this one is a pretty good strike through here. It looks to be a zinc. You have the letter G in God We Trust completely obliterated, and the E in we. So the G and E. But that's pretty cool. This one sold for $11.50, $3 shipping in there. And I would say this is definitely something that comes across every so often. You know, like the struck through tiny wires and staples and stuff. Those do exist, you know, with enough searching. Here's a Indian head cent with a strike through, or either that or it was a post-strike lamination that detached and fell off. So it's got a nice groove in there. $8, you know, that's about all you could ask for that. I feel like maybe it should have been $20. But, you know, that is the market, so it's sold for whatever it's sold for. So this, I checked out this 1979D Jefferson nickel. As you can see, it's heavily pitted. This coin right here at one point was corroded, so it's either been subjected to some sort of chemical or something natural, like you know, the salts from ocean water will degrade coins like this. Okay, same for this 1984D Lincoln cent. This one has been subjected to some sort of corrosive chemical, all right, which will give it this pebbly surface and the kind of mushy details that you would normally associate with such a chemical damaged coin. All right, so we have a lot of coins here. If you could help it, try not to sell a bulk amount of errors, because people specialize in buying certain errors. They don't want to have to buy a huge lot of something only to get one coin that they need. All right. Let's see. Here's a 2000p sack dollar with what he calls a bearded eagle. It's not so much a cut. It looks like a lamination that has flipped over right on the eagle's chin right here. It's a neat oddity at $8.75. I think it's worth that. This one's cool. You know, extremely valuable. Double denom coins. You know, pennies struck on dimes, dimes struck on pennies, nickels struck on quarters. You name it. These coins are extremely valuable and they're very rare, and people like them. Okay, and you know, very rarely do you see coins like this sell for under $1,000. If you see one for under $1,000, it's probably a pretty good deal. So we have a couple more to check out here for you. Looks like we have a little lot of state quarters with miscellaneous die cracks, you know, from like the bust, Washington's bust. And it goes either to an edge or straight through some lettering. You know, you keep an eye out for stuff like that. Even if they're circulated, they're worth $1 or $2. Here's a pretty good looking rim clip. Okay, this one is strong enough that, you know, error collectors love sized clips like this. This one sold for about $13 shipped. So that one's not too bad. This one is peculiar. It's a 2005 Lincoln Cent. It says off color, which kind of leads me to believe that it was subjected to some chemical cleaner. I don't think it's an error coin. I don't think it's an experimental rinse. They didn't do that with a copper-coated zinc coins of the 2000s. Those just didn't exist. This one, I don't know what the allure is. It's $21 shipped. It's a lot. It could be a little bit of money, you know, that to invest in something that may or may not be an actual error. The pictures are just not good enough for me to show you anything definitive. It looks a little bit yellowish in color. Again, a little bit of chemicals, some soap, cleaner can tarnish copper-coated zinc coins to have the appearance of like a light yellow or a goldish color. Okay, so usually that's, you know, either chemical or heat is going to cause that. 1984 Lincoln doubled ear. I took a look at this one too. This is not the doubled ear variety that is normally found on the 1984. This one I feel like is going to be a chargeback at $63 shipped. That's a lot of money for just a regular 1984 Lincoln Cent. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and click into it so you can see it. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday evening so far. So I wanted to squeak this video in to kind of finish off the week. Oh, yeah, feedback of 4, although it's 100%. You know, you want to be cautious about that, and you can't even blow up the image. Okay, which on eBay you're supposed to, but you could disable that feature if you really wanted to. But I mean, it looks like there's a little bit of something there. It's not a variety that really should bring $60. So a 1965 Roosevelt dime has a lamination on it. This one sold for $19.06 shipped. Usually laminations on clad coins, okay, will expose the copper core on these. In the case of this coin right here, it exhibits, you know what I feel to be a genuine lamination because of that. We have a blank planchet. This one looks like a copper-coated zinc. That one sold for $3.29. Another off-center strike. And I think we're going to end it on this 1986 penny. This one, again, this time, this individual states that this is a die cap clash strike, true visual gem quality. Please, guys, if you're going to sell coins, do not put crap like that up there. That does not make any sense. And I can tell you right now, this is another vice job. Because guess what? Cap dies only affects one side. And look, let's see here. So you have the memorial reverse with a true impression of Lincoln right on there, as if it was pushed. And you can see all of the residual damage on the edge. Another big giveaway of a vice job is that you see the letters on there. It says "In God We Trust" right above 1 cent. It's backwards. A legitimate double-struck coin would have "In God We Trust" corrected orientedly as if we could read it like a book, not backwards. I mean, this is a supreme joke right here. It's not even funny, but yet I'm laughing. And then here's the other side. More shenanigans for you. Look at that. Right? This is fake as a $3 bill on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's not a $100 coin. Obviously. Let's see. This one right here, I'm not sure. 1980p, $half missing plating both sides. I don't know. I think it's just discolored because you still have a strong strike on there. If it was missing the plating, oh no, you would have a definitive kind of like edge area where. Yeah, I don't see anything defective about the planchet that it would indicate it being as such. Huh. Oh, and then you have a little misaligned die right here, 1981 penny. It sold for $5. You guys believe it? Something that has just a smidge of off-centering, and there's, by the way, another 1982 misaligned die. So if the back of the coin is nice and centered, and then the front is just partially offset, that means the die was just kind of misaligned before the strike. Yeah, would you guys believe that these things sell for about $5? Easy peasy. Sell it, put it in a plain white envelope with a little bit of cardboard, buffer on there, and that is a nice cheap sale. They all add up, I tell you that. But anyways, we are going to close it out here on on errors on eBay. What do you guys think? I think this time around there were a lot more erroneous, bad, quote unquote, error coins on here that are listed within the last 12 to 24 hours. By the way, this is from the last day. So be careful. It seems like there's more and more of these popping up, and there's nobody to police this anymore. There used to be a team, a task force that eBay had to point out bad listings of fake coins or errors or what have you. But yeah, there's quite a few unimpressive attempts at trying to sell off errors, and believe it or not, they're not cheap at all. They're like $50, $60, $100. So again, heed caution. Use a little bit of discretion when you're shopping for these things, and also selling. You want to make sure that if you're unsure about what you have, that you post it somewhere, whether it's through a forum page, on Facebook, whatever it takes. You want to make sure you get all the information before you sell these things, because it's going to be a headache if, let's say, you sold it and the buyer states that it isn't what you're advertising, and then they do the chargeback and then the return policy, all that stuff. It can get pretty crazy, and it's too much aggravation. So, thanks again for joining in on this one. That's eBay errors through the horn here. And again, if you like today's content, go ahead and hit the like button and hit the bell for instant notifications. I haven't brought that up, but a lot of folks have been saying, I don't know when you have the next video or this or that or those. And I'm like, well, did you hit the bell? And they're like, no, I did not. So make sure you hit the bell for instant notification. And thank you for all the support and views. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, hope you guys enjoy this kind of like screencast format, where I have my picture in the bottom and we're just kind of like talking. You get to see my face as we're talking about coins that are coming up on screen. It's way better, I feel, than the YouTube screencast that I was doing before. It's not as choppy, although my webcam can use a little bit of help. I'm actually using the computer one on this one. So I'm going to do that video coming up here in the next day or so about how to image coins with a smartphone. And we're actually going to use a little bit older smartphone because there's a lot of you with you still have the Galaxy S, S6, I guess, or maybe even S5. iPhone 4s and 5s and 6s and 7s. I'll kind of talk about, because the cameras haven't really gone up huge on the iPhone side of it, on Apple's side, but the Samsung devices have improved quite a bit. So what I'm going to show you how to image a coin with the best optimal lighting, so that way you can post up outstanding images on your eBay listings. So thank you guys again. Enjoy your evening and stay tuned for the next one. Take care.